Hey, welcome everybody to another Tech Tip Tuesday. Here we are, the end of August. Sorry I missed you guys last week. We were in a board meeting in Orlando, which was amazing. And Jake was there, so that was great. There's lots of cool stuff coming up, and believe me, you guys are going to hear some things coming up pretty soon. So, but I'm glad to be back here today, and I am joined by my awesome co-host, Jake Barron from Head of Operations Americas. Hey, Jake.
You can. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello, hello. And we've got Taylor in the background. One of my favorite customer service. Don't tell anybody. One of my favorites in customer service. Taylor, thank you for being here, helping us out with your lightning magic fingers in the background. So, hey, guys, if you guys got some things going on, there's going to be Taylor back there helping us too. Here's what we do. If you guys are brand new to Tech Tip Tuesday, we are a chat-based forum where we do our very best to answer the questions. I am a Healy member, just like most of you guys here. I've been with Healy for, gosh, going on 3 years now. Whew. Seems like 100. No, it's been a while. But I bring my my background, my expertise, and my experience to the table. I'm an electronics engineer by trade and have taken a deep dive into Healy. So hopefully we can solve things. Plus, we have Jake and Taylor here with some awesome support. So let me tell you a little bit about what we can't do. We can't diagnose, treat, or prevent any diseases, disorders, or even really give you any recommendations as to how to do so. So we won't be talking about what programs do what for the body. We can talk about what programs do what in general, but not so much how it applies to the body or alignment. We don't really get much into the back office. I know there's some things there too sometimes, but believe me, I think we get plenty of questions about the technology, and we also do some deep dive into some of the concepts and theories and how Healy works. So hopefully that sounds fun. Welcome new people. Hello, folks that are here forever. Hi, everybody. Dixie, hey, thanks for having your camera on. Ashley, hello. Thanks for being on camera. I love it when you guys are on camera. Bennett, I see a camera, but I don't see you. But anyway, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. Shall we dive in? There was a question right out of the chute about what happened to last week's What's Up Wednesday and Tech Tip Tuesday. So I just kind of explained Tech Tip Tuesday last week. I was and Jake were in a board meeting, and so this particular time didn't work. But What's Up Wednesday did air. It just aired at a later time. It was 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it was with Dr. Michael Chen, and they went over the MagHealy. So that recording is available on the YouTube page. So go check it out. All right.
Yeah, and just a heads up. So tomorrow we're having the regular What's Up Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. But basically every other week for the next couple of weeks, it's going to be moved to 8 p.m. So not tomorrow, but the following Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, What's Up Wednesday will be another training on MagHealy with Dr. Michael Chen. That's part 1. And then 2 weeks after that, so the 21st of September, the What's Up Wednesday for that day will be moved to 8 p.m. for part 2 of the MagHealy training with Dr. Michael Chen.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, so write that stuff down, folks. I know somebody will ask the question, what happened? That's okay. Yeah. We'll remind you. Okay. So here's a question right out of the chute. Is there a way to transfer a client list from one Healy to a new one? My sister was just borrowing my Healy for her clients and finally got her own. So of course you probably want to put all the sister's stuff on her new one, right? So actually, because it's account specific, there's not really a way to take account content and move it to another account. Now, Jake, you were talking about once upon a time some possibility of transferring data. Did that ever get any traction?
No, I haven't heard anything like as far as being able to do something like that. Because if you think about it, everything on your account is in the cloud. Whether you have one Healy or 7 Healys, all of your data is stored in one location. So you can pull that information down onto the Healys on your account, but you can't transfer that data or separate that data out, only part of it, and then transfer it to somebody else at this time. So
yeah, and that's a security thing, folks, because really this is secure data. When you put a client in and then do some scans, that's some personal information. So this is just a very good security measure on Healy's part to not be able to transfer that. Of course, it'd be nice if you're transferring yours to your other device, but that's once you have that ability, then you're running security risks. So Healy is pretty secure in that regard.
I was just thinking, if you, no, I was trying to think if you pulled all that data onto the device that you're no longer going to be using. Oh no, because I say if you deleted out the ones that you don't want, then did a sync on that other device that had been transferred to somebody else, but I don't think that would fully sync properly, and you could mess up everything else. So.
Yeah. The problem is in this case, it is the sister got her own Healy, I'm assuming, on her own account, and the content existed on the first sister's device, and so she would have to transfer that first sister's device over to the second sister, and then it would be and still it wouldn't be 100% possible.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just trying to think up of something for you, but I wouldn't go down that route.
Yeah.
Okay. So
this is an interesting question here, Ken. And this comes up from time to time. It says, can you ask about making it possible to use the Healy on a cell phone while running other apps? So I'm assuming talking about the Analyze app, the Blue Dot app, which requires that constant connection and for the app to be up on the main screen, not running in the background. It says for this person's situation, it's an inconvenience for them. So Ken, I think this goes into explaining that's not a mistake or a limitation. That's how by design that it's supposed to be up and running on the main screen. So so in regards to the Pink Dot app and the microcurrent app, now that's you're connected in some fashion, whether it's the coil or the wristbands or something like that. You're connected in some fashion to the purpose of Healy's program. So in other words, it's applying via some modality like that, and it's a preset. So it's kind of a preset program in the Pink Dot. However, it still takes into account the person it's connected to, and looks at the resonance of the person it's connected to, and then adjusts the outputs frequencies for that particular person. So that's a bit different. The Pink Dot stands alone and is a little bit different. The Blue Dot, now this is unique because you're actually putting in, let's call it, well, it's a client. Let's also call it a GPS signal. So the client, the name of the person, the place they were born, the date they were born, the gender, their picture, and the scan, the actual energetic blueprint of them is put into the client record. And then when Healy does an interface with that client, or let's call it a GPS position, when it does an interface, it's an AI system that analyzes the database you're choosing, comparing in real time to the needs of the client, and then bridging those needs with the quantum sensor and applying them in real time. This is an electron flow, folks. This is actually a real-time interface between the quantum sensor, the environment or the information field, and the person. So it can't be synthesized. I mean, it can't be automated. It's something that happens in real time. And so there's no way that that can be run in the background. It has to stay in the foreground of your smart device. And that's by design. That's by design because of the task it is entangled in. And that's a good word because it's literally entangled with the electron field, the field of the client, and then the information field. And the quantum sensors making that entire bridge. So
The only workaround with that is to have a second device that's not your personal phone, that's not, you know, something that you need, and allow the system to run independently on a second device. Now, remember, the second device does not have to have a cell phone number. It does not have to have a carrier. It doesn't have to have a service. It just needs to initially, and this is only initially, be set up with a Wi-Fi that it can link to. And any one of these smart devices can link to any Wi-Fi, just as long as it's got the password. But once all that stuff is loaded on that smart device, you don't need the Wi-Fi anymore. So you can go run it out in the middle of the woods or where you don't have cell service. It's just the Bluetooth interface. It's the Bluetooth interface that actually makes that bridge between the Healy, aka quantum sensor, and the program. Okay, so I hear you about the inconvenience, but my recommendation is getting a secondary smart device, and they're not expensive.
No, you can get a brand new tablet that'll work just fine for this for very inexpensive too. And then again, a lot of us have other devices laying around the house, maybe old cell phones, whatever, that you've replaced. But again, it doesn't need to have its own data plan, anything like that. You can do something very basic for that second standalone device.
Yeah. This is a good one for you to address here, Jake, because we were just talking about this at the board meeting, the feedback from a new client. They said the referral number, instead of showing the name, was confusing, and said it would be much easier if it showed the referral name. So you want to talk about that, or?
Well, I agree. It's confusing.
I agree.
And we're going to be fixing that. So I would just say, I can't tell you right now on this call, but stay tuned or check in on Frequencies and Friends this Thursday, September 1st at noon Eastern time. We'll put the link into the chat here just as a reminder of how to register for that. But we'll be making some big announcements on that call.
Didn't want to spill the beans.
No, I can't yet.
No, come on, shh, it's just us. All right. What's next? Peggy said that I tried to change the current on my Healy in the Healy configuration, and this is the message I got. Said that your request was unsuccessful. Please try again later. So you logged into your HealAdvisor search app. You went to the specific serial number of the device and you saw it in there, and you clicked the little button to say change, and then you got this your request was unsuccessful. Please try again later message. Okay. That's a new one. I haven't seen that. You might log out of your search app and back in and try it again, because it will happen. It will work. Now, remember, once you make that change, you switch the little switchy, and you know, it makes the change. You have to go to your pink dot and you have to do an update in the settings in order for that to actually download into the Healy hardware. So you've got to go and go to your pink dot, scroll down to the menu in settings, click on settings, click on check for updates, and then that update of the new setting will download into your Healy. Now, that doesn't happen like in the first minute. I would give it a couple hours and then go do that check. Okay, it'll happen. It'll happen.
Okay.
Yep. If you get that request unsuccessful message again, log out of your HealAdvisor search app. Just log out, log back in, try it again, and then it will do it. It will do it. Jake, have you heard anything about that? Had any issues?
No, other than someone's connection having an issue. It could be a server issue temporarily, but I use that feature fairly often. I've never had an issue with it. So.
Okay. All right.
Let's see, there was a question about a battery saying it only stays charged for about an hour. Is there a way to reset it? Taylor put some of the reset tips into the chat here already. So she explained it in detail, probably better than we could hear the exact steps to follow. But yeah, that usually takes care of it. And it's important after you do that reset to go through a few charging cycles before you're really going to get that battery calibrated properly for the battery sensor or to display properly within the app itself. So don't expect it to reset and then that's it. You're done. Just go through a few charging cycles, fully deplete it, fully charge, fully deplete, fully charge, and you should be good to go after that.
Yeah. Okay. What else? It says, Gwendolyn says that I had my Healy resonance for approximately 2 years. One day went to turn it on and the Bluetooth will not connect. Any ideas how to remedy this problem? So, first thing I would do, I would do a hard reset on your Healy. Now that's a press and hold the power button for about 8 seconds. Green light comes on solid, release your finger. Green light will stay on solid for a few seconds and go off. That's a reset. The other thing too is to turn, once you make sure you turn your Healy on first, then your app. I know you've had it for 2 years. I know you've heard all this before, but I'm going to run through it again. Turn your Healy on first, then your app. The other thing to do is to turn your, if that doesn't do it, again, it's not forcing the issue. Turn your smart device Bluetooth signal off. Turn it off so it can reset the Bluetooth function in your smart device, and then turn your smart device off. Okay, and then back on, then the Bluetooth back on. And here's why. It needs to, sometimes that Bluetooth needs to be refreshed in its synchronization with the CPU. And the way that this, when I say CPU, that's the brains of your smart device and how it uses the app. The Bluetooth is just another app function. So anyway, by doing that, Bluetooth off, smart device off, smart device on, Bluetooth on, that's going to do a little reset on that Bluetooth function. And then you go and try to relink with your Healy, see what that does. If all that fails, it's possible that something's gone wrong with the Bluetooth chip itself in the Healy. It's possible. But I would go through the FAQs that are on the in the back office, and it's going to probably talk about some of the things I just talked about. If you've already done that and all the things I've just said are complete, there may be something wrong and you need to put in a ticket to customer service and see about replacing that Healy. Okay. Taylor, maybe you've got some other stuff you want to add in there, but there's some FAQ links. They're really good about the Bluetooth. Okay. So yes, I just explained actually my answer to Dixie for you about a hard reset, press and hold. Okay.
Yeah, it should be something like that. I mean, I think I've seen one issue related to Bluetooth in the 21 months I've been here where it could have been a possible like Bluetooth chip failure, you know, out of the 100,000 plus devices that we've kind of worked on. So it's most likely some sort of smart device related situation. So
another thing to consider too, and I know that you've been, you said that you've been using your Healy resonance for 2 years. Has anything changed? Are there more Bluetooth devices in your proximity? Other stronger signals can interfere, but normally not. Normally it's just something to do with resetting the Bluetooth within the smart device. Okay. Let's see. Where are we?
I think the next question that I have here is from Ashley, and it says, when you create an IMF schedule in the HealAdvisor app, how do you access that schedule later on? So it should be pretty simple. As soon as you log into your HealAdvisor app, you just scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's a programs icon. It's the second one from the left next to the home button. Click on programs, and that brings up two options. It brings up program pool, and it brings up IMF schedule. And on the top right, you click on IMF schedule. That'll take you back to where the schedule is, and then you can edit the topics you have on the schedule. You can kind of see which topics or which programs are scheduled to run next as well. or you can just turn off reminders, whatever you want to do related to that schedule. So we did a video a couple months ago now, but I can put a link into the chat of where we discussed the IMF schedule in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, that was that a Healy for Beginners and Beyond?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those. And there's not that many of those Healy for Beginners and Beyond. So actually it's pretty easy to search through that channel.
Yeah.
And find the one that has something in the content about the advisor schedule. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's a lot of great content for Dixie in there from Taylor. Thank you, Taylor, writing a book for us. You know, by the way, guys, you can copy and paste this content from your computer. If you're on your computer, if you're on your smartphone, you can do the same. You can copy it and you can paste it into, say, one of your notes programs or file programs, or even you can paste it into a text app on your smart device and text it to yourself. Then you've got the content somewhere on your smart device, right? So that's kind of a workaround when it comes to saving this chat content, because you can't do it when you're on a smart device. You can't save the chat content. You need to be on a computer, but you can copy and paste chat content to your smart device when you're sitting here looking at this. If you see something that's great, a link you like, whatever it is, there you go. All right. Let's see. What is the best explanation of the numbers and letters in the aura scan? And what do the negative percentages mean? Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one. There's actually a chart, which is amazing chart. Let's see. Do you have that, Jake? I have it, but you know that the chart that explains the numbers, the letters.
Yeah, I don't think I can share it through the chat here. I think if you Google it, it comes up as one of the images.
Yeah, it's a
image search.
It's not really a link. It's a PDF or document, and so sharing is kind of here's a tough one. So let's see. If you were to just say in the Google, if you put in let me look real quick here. See if I can find it. I call it the dilution chart because that is actually in homeopathic remedies. It actually is a way of measuring the dilution of these remedies.
Yeah. Let's see.
See if I can find it. I wonder how I can share that. Well, I'll keep working on that in the background. But so let me just answer what do the negative percentages mean? So when you're looking at conscious and subconscious, positive conscious, subconscious is negative or below the seam. It's not really negative in a bad sense. Don't think of the negative when it comes to Healy. Everybody sees like these, like the progress report on your Pink Dot app is a negative 99%. You're like, oh my gosh, something's wrong with it. It's not that there's something wrong. You're just looking at really needing some of the microcurrent frequencies in the Pink Dot, or subconscious realm when it's looking at the negative sides. It's the deeper seated issues. Remember, Healy is looking at you from the information field. And if you want to know, I mean, the information field is the quantum field. It's the electron field. It's like, it's below the cellular level. It's all the way down to the molecular level. And there's a connection amongst all things at that level, all things. And that's where Healy is interfacing. The quantum sensors literally interfacing at that level. So it's looking at things from ancestral influence, subconscious influence, and conscious influence. So so that's where your negative realms are, or I should say, let's just call it behind the scenes. How about that? Okay. I'm still looking for that chart for you. We'll get it in here.
Okay.
You know what I could do? I could bring it in on my phone and you could take a screenshot of it. That's another option. You want to cover a question while I do that one, Jake, or you got?
Okay, let me see where we left off here.
Here's one from iPad that says, I don't know your name, iPad. Hope that's not rude to calling you iPad. I mean, it sounds like it's not your real name. But anyway, there is a way to change that, by the way. You can go up your little box there and put your real name in there. Says, my green light is not going off even after hours, but it shows 99%. Okay. So sometimes these chargers we're using, the cord and or the adapter box that's plugged into the outlet, are not quite adequate. And it will charge it up to a certain way. It typically what happens, Healy charges up fairly quickly the first 80%. And the last 20% is a much slower, longer period of time of charge. And so if the hardware you're using, the wire and the adapter boxes in the outlet, if they're either super low current flow, which most of them are not that bad, or there's some connection issue. When it comes to low power charging, this is only 5 volts low power. Even dust in the port in which you plug it in or on the cord, even some little bit of corrosion will compromise the connection and slow down the charge rate. And you may not ever get to that 100%, or that green light may not go off. Just because the green light doesn't go off doesn't mean it didn't charge, especially when it's overnight like that. So unplug it, turn it on, take a look at your app, and if it's 99%, okay, use it all day. Find out how long it actually functions, because it doesn't mean that that algorithm displaying the 99% is exactly accurate. Remember, we just talked about earlier how to reset that. So resetting that charge cycle helps you get back to that 100%, kind of resets the algorithm. And that was put in the chat there earlier by Taylor. So there's a lot of content there you might read through. But test it. Are you getting 4 or 5 programs a day out of it on the microcurrent? That's normal. Okay. All right. Let's see. Here's a long one. Let's see. Debbie, you sent this one to me in the background. She says, in the Blue Dot app, it closes completely out of the app after a program is run. It's very frustrating to have to restart the Blue Dot app almost every time after the program is still running, or just as I finish because the app completely closes. This isn't related to a person not needing any more frequencies. In that case, the program stops. So in other words, talking about if that's the pink dot anyway. So they're using a brand new Galaxy 7 and preload the apps. Okay. So when you're running the Blue Dot app and you finished a program, and apparently it sounds like it's just shutting off at the end of this program, or in other words, resetting, meaning I'm not sure what that means, if it's or restarting, like it's going right back to what just the Blue Dot is showing, just the home page is showing, you know what I mean? You have to put in a client and all that kind of stuff, restart. That's not, you know, if the system is running for very long, it's gonna shut off anyway because of it's done with the program. I'm not sure if there was an issue in which it was actually going to a blue screen and there was an update that solved that. But it doesn't sound like you're getting a blue screen. It just sounds like the program is just, or you're not saying you're getting a blue screen. It sounds like the program is just ending when it's complete. So I'm not sure if maybe put a little bit more content in there about that. But let me just give you some to-do list. So first thing is to make sure that obviously your Blue Dot app is the most current version. Very important. Also to make sure that your Galaxy 7 has the most current operating system. So just go in there because there's some new updates that came out, and those solutions were for various things, such as some of this problems you're talking about. So making sure you have the current version of the Blue Dot app, and the way to do that is just go to your app store. I always say go to your app store and open the app from the app store. It's going to pull in the most current, updated, that kind of thing. You don't need to delete the app. Just go to your app store and pull it in from there. Secondly, with the smart device, making sure its operating system is up to current level. So, and just there's a YouTube for that if you're not sure how to update the operating system on your smart device. Check into that. What else? Yeah, hopefully it's not still having the blue dot. Okay. I hope that blue dot's not having a blue screen is what I meant. That's a problem we solved, I hope. Okay. So Isabella's saying that she also just had the green light never go off. Still works. I figure it was just a reset again. Yeah, I mean, you'll see that it probably still works. I don't know, I have 5 Healys, and I have one that sometimes, it depends on what cord I use. Sometimes green light doesn't go off. Also, sometimes, somebody will bump my Healy, and, it resets it. Actually, if you disconnect and reconnect for a second, it resets that charge cycle, and it'll stay green light on for a while. Okay. So Stanley says, yeah, the new manual says not to wear your Healy while you drive a vehicle. Do not wear outside. Please comment. Okay. It's better to err to the cautious side than the other. Now I'm a Healy World member. I don't represent the corporation. I wear my Healy when I'm driving. I wear my Healy when I'm exercising. I wear my Healy when I'm on the airplane. I wear my Healy when I'm doing everything in my life. So that's me. The safe side of that is some of these programs. Now remember, this was designed for a different way of implementing microcurrent into the body. And we have those sticky pads, and it shows the sticky pads connected on some programs up on the brachial plexus or the cervical spine area to apply the frequencies almost to the brain. Well, there are other ways in Europe that they can connect these to the body, and there are these clips that go to the ears. And some of the programs, the acute programs to the brain, can make you, well, what I've been heard described as Healy drunk. All right. Because you're getting these frequencies and they're really applying directly to the brain. And, so that's being cautious by the company side, very smart. And again, I would say, try the programs that you want to use. This is my opinion, on yourself before you go driving or operating any heavy equipment or, flying an airplane. And if you're good, then you're good. Use it for other places.
Think about it. Any device, the Healy connects to your phone, you're using an app. In general, you shouldn't be using your phone while driving either. So it's just, you gotta think about what you're doing here. There's a difference. And of course, we always need to say, okay, yeah, you shouldn't be doing anything distracting while driving, whether it's your phone, your Healy, eating, drinking, whatever, whatever the case may be. So really just need to kind of use your best judgment here as far as that goes. If you're a passenger in a car and you're using your Healy, okay. If you're using the coil and you already had the program, you're disconnected from the Healy app or something like that, and it's just running. But this is kind of to cover all situations here.
Yeah, it's definitely cautioning. It's erring to the cautious side, right? It's just being safe. Let's see. Isabella says on the Bluetooth issue, I just read something that the new Pink Dot doesn't have the Bluetooth switch. on the top of the app. I didn't actually realize that the switch turns off the Bluetooth on the Healy, not the phone. Any info on that being taken away? No, the switch is still at the top. So
yeah, I think she's referring to the beta version of it's essentially the MagHealy app, which is going to be able to be used with both the MagHealy and essentially the Healy Pink Dot app programs too. And it's still in testing. It's not the final version. So just, keep that in mind, because yeah, that is a feature that is in the current Pink Dot app, and still kind of working on the final version, because the MagHealy app, which is the Healy app, was optimized first for MagHealy. It can work with the regular Healy too, and that's kind of the part that's being optimized right now. So
yeah, and remember that switch at the top only functions on the firmware 2.2 or 229, which is newer ones. There was a 226 that it didn't have that ability. But the switch at the top of the app, that little green button that she's referring to, is to turn off the Bluetooth chip in the Healy. Nothing to do with your phone. Okay, it's only in the Healy. So turn the Bluetooth chip off in the Healy, and then the Healy will stop transmitting content to the app. And remember, there's a function to turn it back on. You actually have to hit the power button twice. Press, and then it will re-engage that Bluetooth function. Some people can't figure out how to get it back on after that. So the person that was having issues that's had their device for 2 years and the resonance, and now the Bluetooth doesn't work. Did you happen to do that? So press. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where else are we? Beth has her hand up. Do you have a question in the chat somewhere, Beth? Yeah. I'm behind a bit. Trying to get to them.
yeah, it looks like she's having the problem of getting the Pink Dot to consistently download the desired program. It keeps going back to the main menu. So yeah, that's been an issue for a few people really over the last couple of weeks, months. Comes and goes a little bit, but there's a workaround. You can disconnect. You can either disconnect from Wi-Fi and cellular, and then it'll disconnect temporarily from your Healy, but then you'll just be able to connect to the device itself without that internet connection, and you'll be able to load the program at that point once you're disabling the internet connection. That will allow you to load the program. Another option is to just completely delete the app, restart your smart device, install the app again, and that should fix it for a longer period of time. But this new app that's being tested, that some people have talked about here in the chat, the Healy app, that particular app will fix this permanently, and it also happens to fix the issue of iPhones not being able to, the newer iPhones not being able to scan the QR code on the Healy too. That's been resolved in this new version too. So a lot of things are still being worked on, but in the meantime, just know you can get around it by either disconnecting Wi-Fi and cellular, put it in airplane mode, something like that, then connect and load the program. It'll get you past that, or try the option to just completely delete and reinstall. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and she also had a question about, she mistakenly deleted the Pink Dot app from the home screen on her phone. So that's really, I would just Google how to rearrange the programs or icons on your phone, and they'll give you there's tons of videos out there of how to move icons around, move them back to the home screen, that kind of thing too. So
yeah, I always tell people, go to YouTube, you'll find an answer. And sometimes you can hide an app. It's not deleted, but it's just hidden. And you're like, well, how do you find it? There's ways to find it even when it's hidden, but it's there's another way to unhide it, I guess you might say. All right. let's see. I found that chart, so I want to see if I can pull it in here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to. I don't know if I'll be able to put it in here anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we had a question says, is there some detailed printed information about the different programs for the MagHealy? So the MagHealy, there is a manual available within the MagHealy app, and eventually it is going to be added to as a download in the back office section too. So that should be up there probably by this time next week. You'll be able to download it in addition to viewing it from within the MagHealy app. But that manual has, similar to the manual for the Healy Pink Dot app, it lists every program in there, what the duration is, what the recommended intensity range is, as well. So that will be, I think, the best spot to go to for that.
Okay, so let me see. I'm going to pull. What I can do is pull it on screen. You guys can take a screenshot of this chart. Okay, and then hopefully that'll help out. All right. We're going to get creative here. All right. Here we go. How's that? Okay, let's see if I can make it any bigger. Nope. All right.
Yeah. I think people will be able to.
That's as big as I can make it. But if you can take a screenshot of that, let me kind of go over a little bit with you guys as to what it's saying here. So when you do an analysis, whether it be the chakra analysis or even the coaching analysis, it's going to give you some percentages, a number, and then some letters and some more like either numbers or Roman figures. So what you see first is a percentage. So basically the relevance of that particular item, that condition, or that present state is, say, 95% relevant in your life. Okay. So that's going to be the percentage. Then you've got a vertical line and a number and another vertical line. The number between the vertical line is the number between 1 and 10. And let me show you between the numbers 1 and 10. So right here, number 2 shows the intensity that relates to how much this issue is affecting you. So plus 10 means it's powerful influence and that needs a lot of correction. A 1 means that it's, it's active, but it's you're probably working on it, right? So you've already achieved a high degree of clearance and you've been doing something with it. So in other words, this is a number between 1 and 10, the second set of numbers, right? That's basically intensity related to that issue within your life. So then now let's go back down here. The next set of numbers or the letter is a D, a C, or an LM. And you'll see the D column going vertical is D equals the physical realm of you. The next column over is the C column. That means the mental and emotional realm of you. And then the LM is the spiritual realm of you. So basically that's what, whatever this condition that came up is orbiting within either the physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual realm of you. Then if you look at the numbers after that letter and you go down to those kind of boxes that go horizontal, if it's a D and it's a D12, you see a D12 right there, means that it is in the physical realm of wrong acting, right? The physical realm of wrong acting. And 12 meaning it is in the middle of its intensity. So if you take a look up here, back up this chart, and you're going to see, let's see, where is it? There's percentages. And then the D, the C, and the LM, kind of giving a definition of that. And then those numbers are, the higher the number, the more intense. Okay. So then below that, If it was a D200, it means it was in the physical realm of wrong thinking. Let's say it was a D1E36. Anybody see the D1E36? Right, it's the very bottom. It's in the physical realm of ancestral influence. So this is something that's genetic or ancestral. All right. So that's how you can kind of read those numbers. So hopefully you guys got a screenshot of this, and you can keep track of it. Okay. All right. I knew we could figure out a way. Okay. What else we got? We got a few more minutes.
We had a question about when doing a scan in the Analyze Blue Dot app, is it necessary to record a new vibration each time? So that's an interesting question, because I feel like some people have different do it more often than others. Wouldn't you say, Ken? Some people have a certain schedule that they kind of do it on, or change from time to time.
Yeah. So again, I go to the body. I go to the physical realm of things. Let's just say that I'm working with a personal trainer, and we are working on a dietary program. And the personal trainer says, here's your dietary program, and I want you to do it today, and that's it. And then we'll reevaluate tomorrow, see how you did. Right? Doesn't it take a while for this dietary program to take root, to have an effect? Right? So if we just did a different dietary program every day, how we know what's effective? So when we do these scans, it's very important that we actually do the scan and then allow the content, whatever the information that it is showing you, for you to follow the guidance, for you to vibrate the frequencies and use the frequencies, and let the tangible 3D body, this physical matter, start to make some adjustments. So it's a good idea. I don't do them more often than a week apart. Now, if I haven't used any of the content that scan revealed for me, I'm probably not going to get any benefit. So in other words, my personal trainer puts me on a dietary program and I go and eat whatever I want. Okay, how do I know what he's told me to do or she's told me to do is having any effect on me? So same thing with Healy. It's no different. You know, I recommend that you do the scan and diligently follow the instructions of the content that it reveals for you. Follow the instructions and give yourself a good solid week. Now, in most coaching programs, it's 30 days, 90 days. So when people are working on the body, some of this stuff it takes a while to solidify and to start seeing this big ship swaying its course. You know what I mean? So definitely give yourself some grace and time, and let those scans and the content in which it reveals be used for a while. Okay. Well, I don't know, Jake. I mean, are we gonna get off early tonight? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think so. There's a couple of questions here that we have not answered, I think. So
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what this one is, but I think there's just the way it's worded in the particular app. But it says in the Pink Dot app guide, under sleep, the description for a fine flow says it's bioenergetic activation through the supporting ionic flow in the body. The question is, what is ionic flow? And I know we've talked about fine flow recently on a couple of the calls, because it's one of the programs that doesn't show, it's microcurrent, but it's essentially no frequency, it's 0 hertz. So it's applying direct current to the body. So I think that's just another way of wording what exactly is going on with that particular program.
Yeah. So fine flow is similar to like the in the deep cycle, which was preparing the body, like the first, second, third cycle of the deep cycle is to get the body ready for microcurrent. It's kind of a workout. So fine flow, it's 0 hertz. And that's because it's not a varying DC signal. DC signal meaning a direct current from one electrode to the other electrode. So it's basically, it's opening a pathway through your body to get current flow, or get your body used to this current flow. And then it will start to oscillate. When you run a different program, then those oscillations equate to frequencies. But fine flow is just a solid current flow into your body. And that's getting the body basically acclimated for the purpose of what the microcurrent does for you. It's a great one to run every now and then, especially if you're getting a lot of black indicators on your progress bar. And you're like, man, I think I'm hydrated. I've got the connections right. I just keep getting these black indicators. Run fine flow and see if that'll help clear the channel, the pathway of current flow for you. And I would not just do it once. Run it a few times. It's not going to hurt you. It's just getting the body acclimated. Okay.
We have a success story from Gwendolyn.
Yeah.
Doesn't know which suggestion worked, but I guess she tried a couple of them. And she's reconnected to the Healy, so that's great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love that. Success stories are always wonderful. All right. Let's see. Oh, this is too much fun, you guys. Great question. Which one resets the vagus nerve or vagal tone, fine flow or bed rest? Bed rest. Bed rest essentially moves you from sympathetic to parasympathetic. So in other words, adjusting vagal tone. Vagal tone is a way in which brain-heart coherence is part of the equation, but vagal tone is what is kind of signifying your autonomic system. And so bed rest is designed to move you from that sympathetic, AKA fight or flight, to parasympathetic, AKA rest and digest. So you can fall asleep. That's why it's under the bed rest thing, but you can use it anytime you feel stress, anytime. It's not going to make you sleepy. It's going to set the stage for going to sleep, but it's not going to make you sleepy. So in other words, it doesn't promote melatonin. It promotes a vagal tone or sympathetic, the parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because a lot of times it's recommended. It's a program, bed rest, you wouldn't think to run it in the morning, but a lot of time that is a good time to run that program. So
yeah, if you just open an email, you're, oh my God, deadline today. Stress. So run bed rest. It's not going to put you back to sleep.
Yeah.
It's going to help you balance. Another one good too, by the way, folks, is we're going into the back to school system. I'm going to be talking about this tomorrow. But as we move back into the back to school time and the stress of that, and whether it be parents or children or teachers, stress starts to increase. So that's another good program for running for stress management. Okay. Let's see. Here's a question. Is there a plan for general healthcare professionals level certification training program? You know, once upon a time, there was a training program. It was part of the academy. But Jake, you want to talk about any?
Yeah, I don't have any knowledge of anything coming as far as a certification training program, but it's certainly something, we can kind of keep in mind and discuss with the product team for possibility for the future.
I'll mention something to you guys, and on my time, in my time zone, it's 555, by the way, 555s. I love that number. So I want you guys to know something, that in the service, the customer service portal on your shop page, there is a spot where you can make suggestions in the ticketing system, right? So you can actually make a suggestions, things you suggest. And I like these kind of suggestions but they would be able to be seen and stored and maybe categorized if you actually file them there in the customer service support structure. I would love to see those things be put in there. Okay, Isabella is helping us answer. She said bed rest too. Hey, yay, 2 votes for bed rest. Okay, let's see what else we got. So, I see what you're doing here, trying to get us to, anecdotally speaking, if I was hypothetically speaking, are there any contraindicators using Healy after a heart stent implant? So hypothetically speaking, again, we can't really make recommendations, or we're not medical facilities to be able to comment on that kind of stuff. So again, here's my suggestion on things like that. What I used to tell people a lot with nutritional programs that I would set up for them, and they would go, well, you know, is this safe for me? Should I talk to my doctor? Absolutely. Talk to your doctor, show your doctor this plan and say, here, help me interface with what I want to do. The doctor works for you. Remember, the doctors work for you. Healthcare is in your hands. And so you can say, here's what I want to do, doc. And I want you to monitor me and give me your best understanding. Guess what happens? You start to ask the doctor to research Healy a little bit and partner with your doctor. Partner with your doctor. Don't just give away your power to somebody. Partner with your doctor and see what they have to say about that. I can't really give a recommendation. I mean, I know what I would do. And that's the first thing I would do. I'm not going to tell you what the second thing I would do. All right. You know me, I'm an experiment. I'm going to experiment. All right. Next one. We got a couple minutes here. Jake, do you want to do a lightning round, or what do you think?
Let's see what we have.
We got one more. Isabella would love to have a certification training. You know what? And I agree. There are experts in this field in Healy, and there are some that are actually doing the research themselves and starting to build models around the research and the discoveries they're making. All right.
Trying to find where I left off here.
Well, here's one from Debbie. Says that in the Pink Dot Guide, under mental balance, the inner unity description says energetic harmonization of the sense of psychic wholeness. What does that mean? That's a great non-diagnostic description of feeling better. It's a great way that again, Healy's not going to try to be a medical doctor or give you anything like that, but when we're talking about energetic harmonization, it is changing the fields of your nervous system. When we're agitated, when we're depressed, when we're frustrated, angry, whatever it is, our nervous system is, the frequency our nervous system is processing is one of lower vibration. And we feel it. You know, it's close to density, and we can feel it in the body. And when we raise that energy level, when we raise the frequency to, say, abundance or love or joy, the body starts to calm down. And so what is Healy doing? The mental balance is doing exactly that. Harmonizing this nervous system. This entire nervous system that is agitated, that is in full alert. And if we can just simply change the frequency of it, then we feel better. I mean, it's just like watching a sunset, and your body starts to build some of these neurotransmitters to feel better, just because you can simply find appreciation for that sunset. Healy kind of does that, but from the electrical, or what's called here the energetic field. They call it energetic field. It's literally like the electrical system of your body. Both the nervous system and the magnetic generation system, both. That's the energetic part of you. Okay, guys, we're at the end of our hour, and I'm so happy you were here. Thank you all for being here. Man, you guys being on camera just lights me up, and thank you for your smiles and all your nods and affirmations. I love that. So big loves to you guys. Jake, thank you very much. Taylor, thank you very much. Big kudos. And we will see you guys next time. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. What's Up Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. In the Eastern time zone. And yeah, we'll have some more great stuff for you. All right, everybody. Jake, anything you want to add?
No, that's it. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Have a good night.